happen. So let me just introduce our guest today, Ashwini Upadhyay, spokesperson for the BJP and someone who's gone to Supreme Court to fight this. We also have Valish Kumar. He is somebody who is of the group, an activist fighting against Hindi, joining us from Bangalore. We also have PC Raju, who's the principal of the Kendriya Vidyalaya in Bangalore. Remember, Hindi will be one of the rules is that Hindi especially being imposed in CBSE schools. And Sarvanan joining us from the DMK, which is opposing what they see as imposition of Hindi. If I can just start with you, Mr. Upadhyay, tell us about your case and why you believe at the moment it isn't compulsory, and these students are also people who have been learning other languages like German in class 10 instead of Hindi. But why do you believe that it should be made compulsory?
In fact, father of the nation Mahatma Gandhi in 1917, 100 years ago, he told that Hindi should be taught to every children, and Hindi is the only language which could be the link language of India. Unfortunately, after 100 years, we are in 2017, and some selfish politicians now creating a dispute in this matter. If we read our constitution from Article 343 to Article 351, it specifically says that this is the duty of the union and states to promote and propagate the Hindi. If in 1968, there was a 3-language formula which was adopted after discussion with all the states in 1968. Later, this was adopted by the parliament. Later, the 1968 National Education Policy, it also said that there will be 3-language formula. It means every citizen, every children of the India should be able to read, write and speak Hindi. My first question to our this Hindi opponents, if all the citizens of the China love to read, write and speak in Chinese, if every citizen of the America can read, write and speak in English, if every citizen of the Japan can read, write and speak in Japanese, what is the problem here? We are not imposing anything. It's just, this is the constitutional mandate, and the constitution was framed after detailed deliberation.
Let's just tackle, I want the DMK spokesperson to just respond to that. Also, what's interesting is that you point out the China model. I just wanted to point out by saying that one of the advantages that India has over China in the market is that unlike in China, one of the things that everyone says we have an advantage over is that English, more English speakers here in India as well. But Mr. Sarvanan,
I am not only seeking China model.
Yeah, you heard.
Every developed every developed and developing country of the world has its own language.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, I understand your point. Mr. Sarvanan, you heard what Mr. Upadhyay, the point he's making. He is saying this is how it should have been. And he is proposing that Hindi be declared the national language because he says maximum number of people speak Hindi. How do you respond to that, sir?
I don't know. I would say that that's a very absurd claim. Yes, all the people all over the country speak their own language. Tamil is my language, allow me to speak that. Why do you want to impose Hindi upon me? Of course, the constitution provides that Hindi should be promoted. Promote the language. We are not saying no to that. We have Dachin Prachar Sabhas all over the country. We have one in Chennai. Please establish such Prachar Sabhas all over the country, all over the state of Tamil Nadu. We are not going to say no. We are not going to say no to that. But when you make something compulsory, like making Hindi a compulsory subject in the CBSE schools and Kendriya Vidyalaya schools, you are imposing it upon us. We are not against Hindi as a language. We are against imposing that language. And you also spoke about that the majority of the people speak Hindi. So why can't it be a national language? That debate has been sealed in 1945. The Madras Presidency wanted to join the Indian Union. The only precondition was that language, we should be allowed to speak our language, and Hindi should not be made as a national language, and English should continue as a linked language. And again, coming to this majority debate, crow is the majority bird in the country. Will you make that as a national bird? That's not a national bird. So
Okay.
majority does not does not is the criteria, and this is a way to impose that majoritarianism.
Okay.
That is what we are opposed
So we
to.
have two different points of view. We've heard the point of view of the petitioner. We've heard the point of view of the DMK, which has made this a huge political issue. Before I go across to my guest, the activist Valish Kumar, who joins us from Bangalore, because remember this is an issue there as well. I just wanted to hear some opinions of the students over here. Now, remember, of course, this is North India. Hindi is the language on the streets over here. But even here, there are students who, while most people study over here till class 8 or class 10, whereas this school, because the world school, doesn't really need to do that. And here also, students are opposed to the idea of mandatory Hindi. You wanted to tell me why you're opposed to it? Yeah, you at the moment study German instead of Hindi, right? If someone told you you have to, which is a proposal by the parliamentary panel, what would you tell them?
Even I would not be very happy to study Hindi instead of French, because even I do believe that we do live in a democracy, and propagating and studying something which is not of the choice would be unfair to the students. At the same time, we do realize that Hindi is very important and not pushing aside its importance, but the decision should lie on the students.
Okay. Of course, I believe Mr. Saravanan also agrees that it's important. What they don't like, what the DMK doesn't like, or some of these parties don't like, is what they feel is it's being imposed. The mandatory is what. But a lot of you, raise your hands, the ones who
May I respond?
are for it being made
May I
mandatory.
respond?
Okay, a lot of people away. So Valish Kumar, a lot of the, yeah, Mr. Upadhyay, I'll just come to you. But Valish Kumar, a lot of the students over here are saying, you know, it's nice to have one language binding everybody, right? That's what you were saying. One language binding everybody. It's not ideal, but there's a lot of students seem to feel that it's the right way to go. What would you say to these students over here, Valish Kumar?
So that is not true. How can you convert a multilingual union into a unilingual union? How can you expect crores of people to learn a language, a single language, for the advantage of select few who are going to migrate from one place to another? So in the purview of what we are discussing today about the recommendations what has been made to the President, I would first like to bring out 3 points here. First of all, the Article 344 in the Constitution of India directly says that the Commission, whatever has been put up, has to make recommendations to the President about the progressive use of Hindi language for official purposes of the Union, which means, and it also says that it should have representatives from all language speakers. Now, it is like you have set the agenda, you have set the expectation that you should give me ideas about how to promote Hindi in the Union, and you are inviting people of all languages. It is like inviting a Kannadiga, Tamilian, Bengali, and asking them, give me ideas how to promote Hindi. Now, that is ridiculous, first of all. And secondly, coming to education, first of all, education was in state list. Then it was brought to concurrent list, and which is when union got a say in how education should be controlled. And third,
Okay,
while before...
I think you
one
make
of our
very
panelists
important
spoke about
points,
three
and
language
that's something
policy.
we'll get Mr. Upadhyay to respond to. But just before that, I just want to go to Mr. P.C. Raju, because like we have the principal and teachers over here, P.C. Raju is of course the principal of a school in Bangalore. At the moment, sir, Mr. Raju, it is not, even in Tamil Nadu, it's not mandatory. Students can opt for their own mother tongue or some other language as well. But if it is made mandatory, how do you think your students and you would respond?
Thank you, panelists. As an academician, as a parent, and also as a citizen of India, I strongly support the implementation of Hindi in all the CBSE schools. Yes, preventing somebody from learning a language, curbing through the state policy, is indirectly curbing the ability of the children. So here, almost all the Kendriya Vidyalayas introduced Hindi very long back. Even Navodaya Vidyalayas also introduced this Hindi very long back, and the children are also learning. And here, once when you keep it as a hobby language, and when you keep it as a linked language, when children wish to learn, so what was the problem with these options? So here I strongly support, so always learning additional language will have its own added advantage. And at the same time, when you wish to learn foreign language, learning our own Indian language is absolutely, there is no problem at all. So I strongly support, so introducing Hindi in all the CBSE schools will be an added advantage, and the children will definitely learning so many more languages. It's not a compulsion, so but here implementation is definitely will be useful for the children.